2, 1.
Hi. Hey guys. I just hit my nose. Hi. She left. I'm already done. Hey. I didn't see you there. Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Alright.
My heart's pounding.
Calm down. Ready?
Mark!
Just relax. Relax.
No. So, I'm here to talk to you today about alopecia. Not alopecia. Alopecia. There's a sh in it, okay? Now, there's different types of alopecia. But I have alopecia universalis. I probably said that really horribly. I apologize. Don't ask me to spell it, because I don't know how. But anyways, so I've had it since I was 3. I'm about to explain to you what it is. Hold on one second. I know you're confused. Hold on. I've had it since I was 3. I wasn't born with it. They told me a bunch of different things about it, that it was genetic, it was stress related, blah, 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 blah. So it took me some time to actually understand what I had, why I had it, if there was any way to fix it, reverse it, whatever. This is basically going to be a video of me giving you a whole bunch of information about it and about me and what I went through. So I hope you don't get too bored. Alright, so the first question that I had received from people that I know people, but anyways, it was, what is alopecia? I think that's everybody's question, who knows me. Alopecia is an autoimmune disease, which basically means that something with, how do I explain this without confusing you? Okay, so everybody has white blood cells in their body that attacks the sicknesses that come in so that you don't get deathly sick, you know? So instead of my white blood cells just attacking the flu virus that comes in, the cold virus that comes in, the whatever little pathogens make their way into my body, it also attacks my hair follicles, my hair cells. So because it does that, when it attacks them, it kills a good majority of them, which therefore I don't grow any hair at all. So I've had that since I was 3. It wasn't as severe. There's different stages to alopecia. There's different types. People get different symptoms from it. I was lucky enough that it started off just being a little bit and then progressed into something more and then went back down. With that being said, I only had a couple of bald spots on my head, and then I went and got treatments, or I got what they said would be a temporary fix. So I tried to do that in hopes that it would do something for me. Let me go back. Okay. So because I had it very little when I was a kid, I went and got treatments for it. I got shots in my head to help reverse what my white blood cells were doing. It wasn't exactly a permanent fix. It was just kind of temporary. So I did that for a little while. It didn't really work, and that was a mind game it played on me. It was back and forth between having hair and then not having hair, and then bald spots filling in and then other bald spots appearing, and it took a toll on my confidence level and how I felt and how I saw myself and how I functioned. And that leads me to my next question that I have. It goes, how does it affect your everyday life? So, for one, doesn't really affect me much anymore. It's definitely been something I've grown into. It's, I've learned how to deal with it. I've learned how to get over it. But as a kid, how it affected me as a kid was I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't know why I looked different. I didn't understand it just as much as the kids who, back in my 3rd grade, made fun of me for. That was really the only time I got made fun of, or I didn't really have friends. So luckily bullying wasn't too big of an issue for me. But that year definitely took a toll on my confidence. That was when I was almost completely bald. I wore hats every day to school. I had people use me to be friends with them, and my mom warned me, and I was like, nah, they love me. I got friends. But turns out she was right. They didn't get invited to their birthday party. I was a little upset. Was still salty about it, whatever. But anywho, throughout the years, I've done multiple different things to kind of be open about it. And that wasn't just for the people I wanted to explain what was up with me. It was also for myself, and I didn't realize it at the time. I don't know why I wanted to tell people about it. I don't know why it was kind of like a rush for me, even at such a young age. The first time I ever told anybody about what was up with me was when I was in 4th grade. I will never forget this. It was the coolest experience ever, and this was one of the very first things I did to inform people about what was up with me. I went to my counselor one day when I just transferred there. Mind you, I moved around because my stepdad was in the military, so we moved from place to place, school to school, house to house, all the time, And 3rd grade, we were in a new place, and I was still almost completely bald, but I was wearing wigs back then. Not as consistent as I do now, for those who know me, but I wore them to school. I wore them when we would go out, just because I didn't want people to stare at me. I was just kind of like, all right, I'm normal, stop looking. But going to school every day with the same people, I didn't know how long I was going to be there, and I just wanted them to know. So I went to my counselor, and I told her, I was like, I want to tell people about this. I want to tell my classmates about this. I don't want to feel different. I don't want to feel weird. I don't want to be scared that people are going to make fun of me or I'm not going to have friends again like the previous year. So she went out of her way. She bought me a cartoon book. I wish I knew where it was. It'd be the coolest thing. But the book explained in kid terms what was going on with me, and it explained how people bully people in the book and how it's normal-ish. It's not like I'm sick or anything. It's just I'm different. And that book perfectly explained it. So the day came, I was in 4th grade, so we had all the 4th grade classes and all the 5th grade classes that were all on that side of the school. All the teachers and all the kids came. My principal came, my counselor came, my parents came. My little sister, who was a baby at the time, came with my parents. And I remember sitting there and I read the book to my class. And afterwards, my counselor was like, hey, does anybody have any questions? And people ask their questions, like, little kid questions. And after that, I stayed in that same place for 3 years. So 4th grade flew by. 5th grade flew by. Went to 6th grade with all the same people. And by 6th grade, I had a full head of hair. I think it was because I was in a safe place. I felt safe. I was with people who knew, people who didn't question it, people who didn't make fun of me for it. It was like nothing was different about me. Nothing was wrong. It was the coolest thing. And then we moved. It sucked. That was awful. By the end of 7th grade is when I lost all my hair again. I was in a new place. It's middle school. I mean, if anybody's ever been to middle school, which a lot of people have, they understand that kids are mean. Yeah. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're going through. So they just kind of take it out on each other. And I was scared that was what was going to happen to me. It didn't. It didn't happen at all. I had friends, I just let my insecurities eat me alive. And because I let that happen, because I was so stressed and I was so scared and I was so different, it took a toll on my hair. My hair, by the end of 7th grade, completely fell out. I remember coming home one day and I was bawling my eyes out and I was like, Mom, my hair is so thin. My hair is almost completely gone. I wore hair extensions to try and, hide the bald spots as much as I can. But I remember sitting at lunch one day and this kid at the table behind me goes to his friends and he's just like, why does that girl have bald spots? Like, what's wrong with her? And I just thought, oh my God, there's no way I can hide this anymore. Like, I've been trying my hardest to hide who I am. And so I went home. My mom cut my hair off. She questioned me. She's like, are you sure? Are you positive you want to do this? And I was like, yes. I'd rather be bald than deal with having bald spots or deal with trying to pretend like I am quote-unquote normal, or trying to convince myself that I'm something that I'm not. And so she did it. No more questions. And then I started wearing wigs again because it was like, that's easier instead of dealing with the whack-a-mole game of bald spots here, but not there, and then bald spots there, but not there. I was tired of it. And then, of course, I finally, like, come to terms with myself, 7th grade, and we moved again. But we moved to Chicago. Moved in with my grandparents. I went to a new school, and because it was 8th grade, and everybody already had their cliques, and everybody knew everybody, I decided to do the same thing I did when I was in 4th grade. I went from the 7th grade classes and 8th grade classes at my school, and I told them about it. My parents came again. My principals came with to that, and I explained it to people, and I kind of got it out there. High school is a little bit of a different story. My freshman, sophomore year, I was very insecure. Everybody had their cliques. Everybody knew everybody since they were babies, and I was just the new girl who moved. I didn't know anybody. I didn't have a history with anybody. I was just new. And so I was insecure. I hated when people asked me questions about it. I didn't want to talk about it. To me, it didn't exist. You didn't ask me questions about it because I would cry. I would get so emotional. If anybody knows me, they know I am a crier. I cry a lot. But it got so bad that I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, why me? Why me? Poor me. Boo-hoo. Why am I like this? Why am I one of the only people, or one of the rare people who have it, you know? Then I started thinking, okay, I'm not dying. I don't have cancer. I'm not sick because of this. I'm not unable to do things because of this. I just can't grow hair. It's as simple as that. It's just different. I'm just different, and I'm okay with it. By junior year, I had been through enough things in my life that I was like, all right, I'm kind of tired of being insecure. I'm kind of tired of being scared of showing people, you know, the real me. So I went to school bald. I barely told anybody that I was going to do it. Just showed up to school one day, and everybody would be like, hey, Brie, you're bald. Like, hey, that's so cool. I got so much love for it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is okay to do. I'm okay. If people can accept me, why can't I accept me? Or if people can accept me, why can't I do the same? I think I said that right. But anyways, so it took a lot of time, took a lot of, you know, growing up and thinking differently and realization that I am beautiful and I am different, and that's okay. Everybody's different. Anyways, okay, so moving forward after that long story, I kind of covered the next question I had is, were you born with alopecia or did it come later in life? I like I said earlier, it came when I was 3. My mom found bald spots and she took me to the doctors. She actually told me something, like, because I had asked her when I was like probably 7th grade, I believe. It was like, what did you do when you found out that I had it? Like, how does a parent deal with their child being different? You know, like, not like it's a bad thing, but not understanding it for sure as a parent has to be scary. And she said that she felt like she did something wrong. She felt like there was something she could have done to prevent it, and she didn't. And, you know, it took her some time to realize, like, there's nothing wrong, you know? Like, I'm still me. I'm still her daughter. She still loves me. She never questioned her love, I don't think. I'll have to talk to her about that. No, I'm just kidding. But, no, she was just worried that I was going to get sick. She was worried that I was sick, or that it could turn into something that made me sick, you know? As a parent, you gotta understand, if your kid's, you know, ill, it's scary. Come on now. Some ways, this is the next question I have. What ways do you cope with having alopecia? I don't really have to cope with it. There's not much anymore, at least. I'm much better now than I was back then. Now it's nothing. I don't mind it. I don't mind being bald. It's nice to come home after a long day of work and just whoosh, and feel the breeze on my bald head. There's nothing really that I have to cope with. I just think, all right, well, I have low days. I mean, who doesn't? You know, I still question sometimes, like, why this, why this, why this? But at the end of the day, or at the end of my little, like, 5-minute crying session, like I did with my mom, like, in like, fall, I cried to her, and I was like, why am I like this? Why am I so different? I was mad, and we were raking leaves, and I was so angry, and I was crying, and I stopped, and I looked at her, and I wiped my tears, and I was like, no, I didn't go through all this just to be upset one day. Like, I didn't go through everything that I went through and dealt with what I dealt with to sit here and cry about it now. But it took a lot of time to be comfortable with who I am. And this video is basically just to inform everybody that I'm different and I love it. And I want people to know about it. I want people to know what alopecia is and why I am how I am. And there's a lot of other people out there like I am, and I want this to be more of a thing. I want more people to understand it instead of just automatically assuming, you know, she's sick or they're sick or what's wrong with them. There's bald people out there. There's bald girls, young and old, but I like my bald head. It's shiny. I don't even do anything to it. It's just naturally shiny. But alright, that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please leave some feedback on how this informed you. If it was good, if it was horrible, if you like me, if you hate me. Don't tell me if you hate me. I don't care. But thank you guys.